Adventures After. We are here today doing another edition of Hey Disney, except this is going to be Hey Disney dining reviews. So here at Happily Adventures After, we're starting kind of to extend that Hey Disney, the virtual concierge of all things Disney, and we are going to extend it from our top 10 series podcast to also include various reviews. So reviews on dining, maybe an event, maybe something we've done. But here we want to discuss our Hey Disney dining review for our first episode, which will be discussing and doing a review of Terralina Crafted Italian over in Disney Springs. So this also does have a corresponding blog post that you can check out. So I highly suggest that and going to the Happily Adventures After website to learn a little bit more. But I'm going to discuss with you to do a dining review of this dinner experience we had at Terralina Crafted Italian. So with that, come on everybody, let's jump in to Hey Disney dining review for Terralina Crafted Italian. So let's discuss how we booked this dining experience. As many of you know, you can book Disney dining reservations for Walt Disney World 60 days in advance. That wasn't the case with this one. As we sat in our Reunion Resort in-house water park, we actually were discussing our dinner plans for the day. So for those of you who don't know, as a side note, Reunion Resort is an off-property golf and resort community that has vacation rentals, so either homes or deluxe villas, and it's a great place to stay off-property. If you want to kind of remove yourself from the Disney magic, it has a 1, 2, 3 bedroom villa with full kitchen, laundry rooms, all that stuff. So it's really great to have that extended home feel. Total side note, and they have an in-house water park. That's why I wanted to just bring that up. So we were sitting there in the water park, my family and I, and we were discussing what we wanted for dinner. We knew we were going to Disney Springs for the evening. So we were like, okay, what reservation can we get as a last minute reservation? And as a side note, you can usually get a lot of really great last minute reservations within 2 hours, kind of, let's call it 4 to 2 hours of when you want to dine, because Disney has a 2-hour cancellation period now. So you have to cancel 2 hours in advance of a Disney World dining experience. Some of them are a little bit different because you prepay for them. You never have to pay for that in advance. But if you don't cancel within the 2 hours, you have to pay a $10 per person fee for not showing up to that reservation. So a lot of people cancel before that 2-hour mark. So it's a really great way to get a dining reservation, and sometimes a really coveted one. Terralina Crafted Italian was no different. We sat there around 3 o'clock and we snagged a reservation for around 5 p.m. My family and I normally do eat dinner at 5 p.m. We're weirdos. But we wanted to make sure that we were able to get a really great dinner for us at Disney Springs. With high hopes, we quickly made our way through Disney Springs. Once we got ready, we drove there from Reunion Resort and we went over to park in the garage and we walked to the landing area of Disney Springs and Walt Disney World. At this point, I'm going to be honest, we had no time to spare because we were late. We can sometimes run 15 minutes late. That's just us. We try our hardest, I promise. But we passed over that bridge that connects the west side to the landing. We hurried. We got to where we needed to be, which was, like I said, Terralina Crafted Italian, and we were ready for our dinner. As I said, we were about 15 minutes late to our reservation. I am horrid with directions. Horrible. And I was the one in charge of it at this point because we were moving so fast. I didn't honestly realize that Terralina was right beside Paddlefish at Disney Springs, and it's somewhere that I've gone before a few times, and I really enjoy the seafood there and the atmosphere. So again, I kind of didn't know where I was going. I was kind of guessing, just so we all are aware. But we made it. We made it 15 minutes to spare. And now I know where it is. So when we got to Terralina Crafted Italian, like I said, we were 15 minutes late, but you do have like a 15-minute grace period. Thank you, Walt Disney World. We checked in with our hostess inside the restaurant and waited about 5-ish minutes until we were seated. The hostess sat us right at a table beside the window and we could actually see Lake Buena Vista, which was really lovely. We thought about sitting outside. However, we kind of needed air conditioning just with the temperature of the day. Even though it was 5 p.m., it's Florida, everybody, in Walt Disney World. It's still humid as ever. Our views were very lovely and we had a really nice atmosphere as we dined. Once we were seated, we were promptly greeted by our server who asked to take our drink order. We quickly looked over the menu just because they had just come up to us, And we chose the following drinks. So this is my family and I. It's myself, my mom, and at this was my cousin, who is, oh, how old is she? She's 23. So this is what we purchased. We had a strawberry basil refresher, which Disney describes as strawberry, fresh basil, and lemonade, which was $10 US on the menu, or when you convert it to Canadian, $14.10 at the time, plus tax. We got the spectacular grapefruit soda for $5 US, or $7.05 Canadian plus tax. We got a lemonade soft drink for $4 US, or $5.64 Canadian plus tax. Now I'm going to be honest, because we purchased this as an additional drink because I didn't realize my strawberry basil refresher was not refillable, which is totally okay. And I needed a drink to drink with the rest of my dinner. I drank that very quickly because it was so hot out. I did have water in my bag, but I was kind of saving that also for later for evening, so I just needed something else to drink. So we got just a normal lemonade soft drink. And my cousin got the limoncello mojito, which was $16.50 US, or $23.27 Canadian with the exchange rate, again, plus tax. And these prices are all at the time of purchasing, which was in April 2024. My cousin said that her drink was pretty good. I don't drink alcohol, so I didn't really have any, but she said it was really good. It was very smooth. The alcohol was like really well blended in, and it was a good drink. Then our server came back, brought us our drinks, but while we got our drink, we noticed that we wanted some starters. So we looked through the menu and we went through the antipastas, as well as the salads that were listed from the garden on the menu. We ordered the following. So we got mussels, which Disney lists as spicy lemon tomato broth mussels, for $18 US, or $25.38 Canadian plus tax with the exchange. Calamari fritas, which Disney lists as pickled vegetables, sage chili aioli, for $18 US, or $25.38 Canadian plus tax. A Caesar salad, which these are Disney's descriptions on them, just so you know, from the Walt Disney World website, which lists that it has croutons, parmesan, garlic anchovy dressing for $10 US, or $14.10 Canadian plus tax with the exchange. And lastly, we got the Terralina Crafted Italian salad, which Disney lists as romaine, bocconcini, shaved parmesan, fennel, cherry tomatoes, red onion, salami, pepperoni, and red wine vinaigrette for $18 US, or $25.38 Canadian plus tax with the exchange. Our server was very prompt getting not only our drinks, but our antipasta and our salads. So once those arrived, we started to look at the dinner menu. Our server was very attentive, bringing this back and then coming back to check on us if we needed anything. Once we decided on our dinner menu items, we ordered the following. So the seafood fettuccine, which is listed as fresh mussels, shrimp, fish, and a spicy lemon tomato broth with grilled baguette for $36 US, or $50.76 Canadian plus tax. We also ordered the shrimp scampi fettuccine, which is listed as a lemon chardonnay, a butter sauce, sun-dried tomatoes, parsley, and toasted garlic for $33 US, with the exchange that is $46.53 Canadian plus tax. And lastly, we got the wild mushroom risotto, which is truffle, shaved parmesan, and balsamic glaze for $29 or US, or $40.89 Canadian plus tax. Gonna admit, we did order a lot of food. We generally don't eat this much. However, there are some rules in Disney because calories don't count as one. Get as much food as you like because you are on vacation is two, and enjoy yourself. Taste whatever you want, try new things, and make it a great time. And that's number 3. And that is why we got this much food while we were here and on vacation. So with that, let's get into the review of our meals now that you know the exact cost and what we ordered. So as our review starts, we're going to start with our starters and our salad. As I said, they were delivered very quickly. We began tasting these menu items. They tasted good, not great. And you're going to notice that's a recurring theme for us and our experience while we were here. The Caesar salad was a very normal and standard Caesar salad, as was the calamari. The service provided by the staff delivering our food and as well as our server was, again, good, but not great. I did say that the server previously coming back to get our order was very prompt and delivered our meal, but then there wasn't as much service there. But that's okay. Like, we understand. Life gets busy. Somebody may have called in sick, whatever it was. Totally okay. The mussels, my mom and my cousin ate, and they said, yeah, because you are not catching me eating mussels, no way, no how, nope, grosses me out. These were very, very good. My mom said her Terralina Crafted Italian salad was also very good. So these were the two, the mussels and the Terralina Crafted Italian salad were the standouts for sure here. With this, our entrees arrived very shortly after we had received our starters. So the prompt ordering and the prompt service there, really wonderful. However, we didn't have as much time to eat our starters and our meal at the same time. Then it began to get cold. Our table was full of food. We had our 4-person tabletop and it was full of food. You couldn't put anything down. So not as a complaint, but as a suggestion with this restaurant, if you can, be sure to have your meals and your starters at different times, just because, like I said, they might sit there, they might get cold. Okay, so back to this. Our entrees arrived very shortly after. We had our starters as well as bread for the table. The bread for the table was very good, but it was a very standard bread service, nothing overly special. All of our entrees again, shall we say it? Say it again, everyone. Were good, not great. My mom got her wild mushroom risotto. She said it was good, but she makes a better risotto, and I am biased. My mom makes an amazing risotto. Absolutely, positively amazing. I didn't taste hers, that she got, but I do trust her. She said that something just didn't seem right with her risotto. Not in the sense that it made her sick, just some flavors were off, and that's why it was only good. My cousin, she purchased the seafood fettuccine. She said it was good, however, it needed Parmesan cheese. I want to start off this conversation by saying my cousin lives for Parmesan cheese, well, cheese in general, but Parmesan cheese, and she adores it. And she usually eats it on any type of pasta that she can. We asked our server for a lot of cheese when she ordered the meal. We said more than normal, like 2 to 3 times more. Our server said, perfect, that's okay, we'll be right back. It took 15 minutes to get one thing of Parmesan cheese that we had to remind her about when our meal was brought. So when my cousin ordered, remember she asked for extra Parmesan cheese. They said, of course. She brought her meal, didn't bring the cheese, and then it took another 15 minutes to get a small little saucer of cheese. And then she had to continue to come back for rounds to go, oh yeah, I forgot the cheese. Again, things happen. I'm going to be honest. Something may have happened. Somebody may have called in sick. I get it. But again, this is just our experience. Once my cousin actually got the amount of cheese she had asked for, would be a lot more than normal. She put it on her dinner and it was not even warm. That's how long it took. And so she was very disappointed. She said it would have been a lot better if it was warmer, as well as if she could have had that cheese, just because I know for her, she does love that cheese on it. The dinner was nothing special for her meal. And I think for her, what really brought it down was the lack of attentiveness, speed of delivery, and listening on the server and staff's part. That also brought it down for her. And again, this is a recurring theme that we saw at quite a few tables. I'm going to be honest, there were quite a few tables. Again, giving them the benefit of doubt. It is dinner, it is busy, something may have happened. But simple request, just there's no cheese on a burger that I overheard from a different table, had people like staff would bring the cheeseburger to the person. They said, no, we ordered it without cheese. Okay, brought it back. Brought the same burger with cheese. So it was one of those nights. I'm going to chalk it up. If you go back and read our Universal Studios Orlando blog post on Happily Adventures After, you'll again see that this was a one-off on our experience on This Week in the World, April 2020 Orlando experience. And I think, honestly, it just might have been that night for the service here at Terralina Crafted Italian. So, on to my meal. I ordered the shrimp scampi fettuccine. Total contrast to everything else. I really loved this. I think for me, it was the highlight of our meal, how my mom and my cousin said that the mussels were and my mom's salad was. I think that the shrimp scampi for myself was just the highlight, and I was really pleasantly surprised. If you are here at Terralina Crafted Italian and you like this type of dish, I highly recommend it. Most certainly. I really, really, really liked it. And I'm not a huge seafood person, but I think that the shrimp scampi was really well done. All right, so that's it for our food because we didn't get dessert because we wanted to go try some other items at Disney Springs and other treats. So I think though, however, the highlight of our meal was not necessarily the food, but was the view of the water. As we sat and ate our meal, overlooking Lake Buena Vista, as well as you could see off in the distance, you could see Paddlefish, another restaurant at Disney Springs that I discussed earlier. It was really nice. That for me, I think created the ambiance and the scene of the whole dining experience. I think that in doing so, it probably made it the best part of our meal. Once we were complete with our meal, we had eaten everything, kind of packed everything up. We actually didn't take anything to go. That's how much we found it good, but not great. So we didn't want to continue to have that meal. Also, as a side note, we were at Disney Springs. It was still hot. Our plan was to shop and get treats. We had seafood. We didn't really want to leave it in the heat kind of thing, going back to our car or anything like that. So it was double-edged there. But like I said, the meal wasn't great. It was good. We got our bill, and this was the total for our dining experience. Now, we do have an annual pass, so we got that 10% annual pass discount. And in total for this meal, we paid $190.20 US, or converted, it is $268.19 Canadian at the time, before a tip. That does include tax. Here's the cost breakdown, just so you're aware. The total for the meal without any tax or discount was $197.50 US dollar, and Canadian that transferred to $278.48. With our discount, it brought us down to $177.75 US, or $250 with 68 cents US with that exchange. Adding on the tax then brought it up to that $119.20 US, or $268.19 Canadian, again before tip. With the exchange rate being as high as it is, it's been very high for the last couple of years. I don't think this meal, and neither did my family, is near worth $200 US to 275 Canadian. Completely and totally honest, it's the equivalent of Carrabba's, the chain. However, Carrabba's is better. We all enjoyed, and we've been to a variety of Carrabba's in different cities, in different states. We found that meal to be at Carrabba's better than Terralina Crafted Italian. They're very comparable. I really think it was overpriced, especially for what we paid, as did my cousin and my mom. For this price alone, I don't think we would return with the service and the meals that we got. It was a really nice treat. We do talk about, even now, how much we enjoyed going there as something new. However, it did not warrant the cost because this is somewhere we've never been. We were really trying new things on this trip, which I really enjoyed. I do know that Disney is increasing a lot of prices and menu items, so there's some things you can't avoid. However, I don't think this was worth the cost of that $200 US. I think if you're looking for a very equivalent meal to this, I would suggest going to an off-property Carrabba's or a local Italian restaurant, or maybe, I know we got a lot of food. We really did, because it's fun to taste. But maybe if you're really interested in coming here, order a little bit less or see if you can share meals, because again, overall, I don't think, neither did my family, and we really do like Italian food. We don't think it was worth the cost, and it was warranted that $200 for the meal that we got. So, yeah. With that, we have here our Hey Disney dining review for Terralina Crafted Italian. If I was going to give it a 1 out of 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the lowest score, I'd probably give it a 2. 2.5 maybe. Like I said, wasn't the best meal, wasn't anything horrid, but I think it did warrant that 50% mark. Was good, not great. Can't say myself, or anybody here at Happily Adventures After or my family would want to go back here again. It's not something we would talk about over and over. However, I do know that Walt Disney World has some really great options that you could go to, and I do go to all the time. I don't have one in particular for an Italian restaurant, honestly, at Walt Disney World, because I haven't been to one. But that being said, if you want to try it once, I wouldn't say don't. Maybe you'll have a better experience. Like I said, with service, might have been a one-off. All of that being said, Terralina Crafted Italian, would we go back? Probably not. And I know I'm talking in circles about this, but yeah. Okay, I want to hear from you. What do you think? What do you think about Terralina Crafted Italian? Have you been? Do you have any stories? Was your experience better than ours? Worse than ours? Please feel free to share. Don't forget to come back to Happily Adventures After on our blog. Maybe see the corresponding blog post that this goes to from the week in the world, as well as make sure to check out our Hey Disney Top 10, where we count down the top 10 items that we're discussing that week at Walt Disney World. We really look forward to extending this series and hope to talk to you soon. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.